And wanting to feel and be safe, it's not a ridiculous demand. And it shouldn't be political, any of it. But that is exactly what the left is doing, and the Democrats know it. They think they can ride this chaos all the way to election. Despite the shootings, the fires, the lootings, they just don't want federal agents in their cities because they know it will get better.
The rhetoric, take these people out of our city. They are not helping us. They are hurting us. They are escalating an already dangerous situation. And what we're seeing is a blatant abuse of government by a Trump administration that's falling in the polls.
Joining me now is Victor Davis Hanson, Senior Fellow at the Hoover Institution. Victor, it's very clear that these blue state mayors, governors, elected officials are all in cahoots with each other. They're all reading from the same script. It's Trump's fault. It's the federal agents' fault. It's not the local and state officials' fault.
Yeah, you can see it with the protesters, Laura. When they take down Frederick Douglass's statue or Ulysses S. Grant, they don't erect another one. They don't say, we want Al Gore's statue instead. When they get rid of a name of a school or they cancel a program, they don't say, we want this instead. They have very few demands other than defunding the police because that's not their purpose. In some ways, they're the armed wing of the Democratic Party, if I could use that term, and they're saying to the Democratic partners, we give you chaos, we give you anarchy, and we're going to make life miserable for the average American, at least psychologically, on top of the virus, the lockdown, this recession. We're going to make it miserable, and then we're going to give you the lever. You can say, well, we can make it all go away if you just vote for us. And then in exchange, Antifa and BLM say to the Democratic Party, now we own you in this Faustian bargain. So when you come to power, this is what we want. All of those issues that failed to resonate in the Democratic primary, and you remember them, the New Green Deal, reparations, Medicare for everybody, a wealth tax, now that's what you're going to give us in return. So you're right. That's why they change the language and say violence is a myth and it's peaceful, summer of love, because they're in a partnership. It's a quid pro quo between the street and the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party says to themselves, these guys out on the street, they can do what that phony Steele dossier did not do. They can do what Robert Mueller, inept Robert Mueller, could not do. They can do what we couldn't do with impeachment. They can get rid of Donald Trump. And that's the bargain that they've entered with these guys.
Victor, do you think this may be a turning point for Trump and the Trump campaign? I'm getting a sense, I don't know if it's accurate, but it's a sense that this has now gotten to the point where people outside of these 5-block radius are getting worried. I'm hearing it in conversations at the grocery store. Your thoughts there?
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think the last week Trump has tried to have one-on-one discussions with people. He's brought in some more advisors. He understands the stakes now. It's not about Trump. It's not about you and me. It's about the country. It's an existential attempt to really have a slow-motion coup and remove him from power and everything he represents. And he understands that, I think. And, you know, it's a long time. 99 days is a long time. We know there's a lot of known unknowns. We don't know where this wild torpedo of a virus will be in November. We do not know where the lockdown status will be. We don't know what the economy will be. We don't know what John Durham's going to do. We don't know what Joe Biden's going to do if he has to come out and actually go onto the campaign trail. We don't know the significance or the ramifications of his vice presidential pick. All of those are unknown right now, but we know they're coming. And so things can radically change. I can remember when, you know, Mike Dukakis was cruising into September with about a 10-point lead, and all of a sudden, wham, 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 he didn't do very well in his campaigns. There was these ads, and the next thing you knew, he was not the competent miracle worker from Massachusetts. He was inept. So we had a long way to go, and I don't think the Democrats have got on back of a tiger, and they think they can ride it for their benefit. I'm not sure they can. These people are capable of anything at any time, anywhere.
And the only thing, imagine if they have the Justice Department to terrorize people. Now they have people at a bridge stopping cars, and they're throwing, you know, Roman candles, shooting them at federal officials. But imagine when they have the full force of the Justice Department to harass every American who doesn't go along with their nonsense. That's what people have to start thinking about. Victor, it's always great to see you. Thank you so much tonight. And as violence continues